Greetings, today is October 26th of 2019, and once again I'm underneath the truck. My objective today is to finally fix this leak that I paid so much money for somebody else to fix. They took my money but didn't fix it, so I'll get that fixed today. Objective number 2 is I'm going to come over here and into the back. And, okay, my paw was in the way. Alright, so hopefully what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the drive line again. This drive shaft, I'm going to drop it again. And I am actually going to pull this rear section off. So in order to do that, I have to take the speedometer cable out again, which is right there. And there should only be 4 bolts that I have to deal with. See, one right here, up in the corners. One there, and then 2 on the other side. And then that whole assembly should just be, I should be able to pull that right off. That's objective number 2, because I need to count how many splines are on the drive gear for the speedometer, so that I know which driven gear, which is on this part here, which driven gear that I have to buy. So that's what I have to do in order to count the drive gears in there. The drive gear in there. Objective number 3 is to replace the rear seal, because you can see it does have a bit of a leak. So I will go ahead and replace it, I hope. And so those are the 3 objectives that I have today. Okay, so the concept here for fixing this leak is, I think this corner is kind of, okay, there we go. Okay, so the concept here of fixing my leak is, I think this whole corner here is fairly bent out of shape. I don't know if I can show it too well on the camera, because anyway, yeah, you can kind of see it. This is pretty much where it leaks from. Now the gasket should fill that up. Rubber gasket doesn't, but I do have a cork gasket, so that's what I'm going to put in there. But to minimize this, I've got a somewhat flat surface here, and I'm going to take a hammer and I'm going to pound the shit out of this just to see if that'll work. Okay, so I've moved inside. It's just too cold outside, so I came in here to work on top of the freezer here. And so this is what I've done. I've put gasket maker around the bottom just a little bit. Hopefully that'll stick the cork on there nice and good. And I found this technique on YouTube, but he said just to make sure the bolts are all lined up, you put your bolts in there upside down, and that holds the gasket down. You leave it like that for 15 minutes. It makes sure it makes sure that the holes all line up, so when I go to put this on the transmission, it's going to work. So while that's doing that, I think I'll go out and drop the drive line. Okie dokie, drive line's dropped, and I took this. I don't even know what you want to call that. I took it off. So now I'm just going to come up here and count the ends, or the things here. I'm just going to move my camera around so that later on I can view this, or you can count along. I can't see it well enough right now to count. So, and video at the same time is what I'm saying. I can get up there and count real easy, or I can video it real easy, but I can't do both. So that's it. I went once around with that. Let me turn the light on here and see if that helps. Torch. For some reason we gotta call it a torch. Okay, so, and now I'll go over it again. Oh yeah, that does help. So basically what we're doing is we gotta look at this, at the front end here, and count where the splines come across. So that's what we're doing. So hopefully the video is good enough for me to take a look at later and count, but I'm going to go ahead and count with my finger. And to do that, I'll have to turn the video off. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm counting that. For starters, I can see it's red, so that's good. The one that was on there is actually looks like green. So that's the one that was on there. So that's the one that needs to get replaced. That's the driven gear. And that is the drive gear. All right.